Hi, welcome to another episode of 6 Cents Out of a Nickel. If you're new to this channel, please introduce yourself in the comments below and tell me what you may like about this video or how you think I might be able to improve. I'm here to serve you. Thanks. Today I want to talk to all of my millennial and Gen Z friends. All right, so I had a conversation with a Gen Z individual and who quite accurately pointed out that my generation is the reason that they can no longer afford houses. And then he proceeded to call me a boomer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Blame me all you want for your troubles. I'm okay with that. But don't call me a boomer. I'm in Generation X. The boomers were the ones that screwed us over, and we are in turn the ones who screwed you over. You're exactly right about that. But let's get it all straight. Let's start from the beginning. My dad was part of the silent generation. He was born in 1929, and that particular cohort didn't get paid very well. They worked long hours, and they really didn't get very many creature comforts from their employers. They had to work often at a young age to support their families. This was during the time of the Great Depression, leading up to World War II. Everything was done primarily by hand or by horse, even though some appliances had been developed during that particular time. They weren't really, they weren't part of the average household. They were basically the purview of the rich. And basically, they worked really hard for very little pay, but they really did set up the framework for the society we have today. They did all the heavy lifting so that the other generations that followed wouldn't have to. And after World War II was over, the soldiers that came back reunited with their families and made the next generation, the baby boomers. And they're baby boomers because there were a whole lot of them born basically all at once. They made such a large portion of the population that politicians were very eager to pander to them. They got everything pretty much their way, green lights all the way. And because they had such an easy time of things, they really were the innovators. They were the people that brought a lot of the technology and to everyday use and then made it affordable for the average person. They made great advances in culture and social justice and started paving the way for the modernization of our society. However, they did get good jobs. They were paid very well. They didn't have to work too terribly hard because machines started to become a little bit more mainstream at the time. All in all, they had it pretty easy. They could buy a house. It was affordable. They could drive a new car pretty often. It was affordable. They could have their families. They didn't have to really worry too much about money. There were some that did, but as a cohort, they really didn't. They had it very comfortably. The dates for these generations tend to change a little bit depending on who you're talking to. But generally, the baby boomers are were born between 1944 and 63-ish. And their children, the people born between 64 and roughly early 80s, some put it at 80, 81, in and around that range somewhere, were us, the Generation Xers. And we're definitely known as the forgotten generation because really we were the generation that prosperity kind of forgot. The baby boomers wanted to hang on to their wealth and the power that they had accumulated. And small shops started to end up going away because the wealth and power started to coagulate into corporations. And when the corporations started to take over, that drove wages down. So our generation really didn't work for very much money. And in fact, probably about half of what the baby boomers had to work with. Now, the baby boomers could basically afford whatever they wanted with cash. Our generation tried to keep up with them. Silly us. We resorted to debt to do this. So we bought all the fancy stuff. No, not me, obviously. But our generation bought all the fancy stuff and tried to keep up in lockstep with the baby boomers. But we didn't use cash. We used debt. We borrowed our way to this prosperity. Before this, the only thing you would actually borrow for would be a house. But now people were borrowing to pay for all kinds of things, cars, furniture, and unfortunately, our generation didn't really even give it a thought. We were keeping up with the boomers, and that was what was important to us. Never mind the fact that it's completely unsustainable and robs future generations of even more. So, does everybody have it straight so far? We had the silent generation that did all the heavy lifting, did all the work, really got none of the benefits. You had the baby boomers that got all the benefits, didn't really have to do a whole lot of the work, but they were kind of like, they were the prosperity hogs. And then there was Generation X, our generation, who unfortunately felt the pressure to keep up with the boomers, so we begged, borrowed, and stole our way to the top. Now we get to you guys, Millennial and Gen Zs. Well, there's no more cash in the system. There's no more debt in the system. It's on the verge of collapse because you can't borrow anymore. All the prices are high because we expect our assets to just keep increasing in value. People are now looking at their houses to fund their retirement. At least they are in my generation. So what's left for you guys? Not a lot. You got screwed because of our selfishness. And now houses are unrealistically expensive, and because rent is a function of house prices, rent is unreasonably expensive. No one can afford to live. We've got tent cities in the woods by the bike path because they can't afford to live anywhere else. And anyone who's not living in a tent in the woods is like one bad paycheck or one calamity away from being in that position themselves. And to be honest, it makes me sad and it makes me angry that we've been such pitiful stewards of the resources and opportunities of a future generation. But all is not lost. I see some hope with your generations and their ability to turn things around. First of all, your ability to walk off a job after almost zero consideration is commendable. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, if we had the stones to do that when we were younger, maybe things would have been a little bit different all the way along for everybody. But just the fact that you're able to do that and go, I'd rather have no job than have this job. I mean, that's courage. I know some Generation Xers and Boomers are going to go, no, that's stupidity. As a matter of fact, they both look the same. You know, courage is knowing that it's going to hurt and doing it anyway. Stupidity is identical, and that's what makes life so damn hard. And you guys have a chance to redefine what it takes to actually live in this world and what we actually need and what we actually don't. What may become a necessity and what's actually unnecessary luxury. You're demanding higher wages. You're demanding affordability. And you're demanding that companies actually look after your needs, both inside work and outside of work, which I think is absolutely amazing. We need to get back to that. It's going to take a lot of time to straighten things out, and it's going to take a lot of work. But I think your generations are up to the task. And as for me and my generation, well, Generation X had a unique opportunity to make things right, and we missed it. Just don't forget about us. Call us whatever you want. But if you're going to aspire to the same standards that the boomers had, of the good work life, the good pay, the affordability of living, don't confuse us with them. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for more content. Thank you very much. Until next time.